Hey everybody, welcome to today's live event. We've got a poll running, so cast your vote there while we're getting set up. We'll look at the results here in a bit. In case you can't see it on your screen, we're asking what's your least favorite part of portfolio transitions? Mapping existing positions, calculating tax exposure, trade order management, or client communication. Okay, so cast your vote real quick. We'll go over the results soon. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we are going to execute a tax optimized portfolio transition in just a few minutes using the intelligence of Athena AI. So I know most of you, when you think about AI, you're thinking about like client meetings, notes, emails, but we're going to show you a real use case of where it fits in portfolio management. So I'm Johnny Sandquist of Three Crowns Marketing. I'm a fractional CMO and marketing strategist for fintechs and advisors. And I'm your host. Real star of the show, though, is this man, Josh Harris, VP of Growth over at Athena, the agentic direct indexing and portfolio management platform for advisors. Josh, excited to be here, man. How you feeling?
Feeling great, Johnny. I appreciate the intro. You're my number one hype man. So
I know
thanks.
I'm gonna have a second career as just Josh's hype man.
I
It's
love it.
like it's like rappers have like the hype man behind them who just says like the rhyme.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
role for you.
yeah. I live.
So
Yeah, yeah. You should change your LinkedIn headline.
I'm gonna change it.
Number one
Josh
hype
Harris
man.
is hype man.
Yeah. No, thanks for the intro. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, dude. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so a couple quick house cleaning items before we dig in. Obviously, we are recording this webinar, so you will get this afterwards. But if you miss something, don't worry. We're also going to save time for Q&A at the end. So drop your comments throughout anytime. I'll grab them when we wrap up. And wherever you're watching, leave a comment. I'll find it. Okay. So last part of the intro. I know everybody wants to get going. Here's what we will cover in the next 30 minutes. We are going to start by talking about why portfolio transitions are one of the most manual, time-intensive workflows advisors face. Look at what that old process looks like versus what Alpha Athena and Athena AI makes possible. And then Josh is going to give us a little live demo of moving from transition analysis to execution. So, Josh, before we dig into the demo, set the scene for us. What makes transitions today so painful? Why is this a problem you guys felt like you could solve with AI?
Yeah, yeah. So before I get into what Athena does, I want to set the stage on why this is a problem we're solving, why we introduced it to the platform, why we enhanced it, put so many resources into it, and why it's of such large interest to the RA community. So portfolios transitions today are one of those workflows that every advisor deals with, but nobody enjoys. When a client comes over from another advisor, consolidates a held away account, or you have to take on a prospect with a brokerage portfolio that they've held for years, you have to get them from where they are today, their existing portfolio and any holdings in there, to where you want them to be. And that path can be very time consuming, tedious, and painful for advisors. And with that transition workflow, there are basically 5 steps. Every one of these eats a little bit of time, and think about this in the context of one client, Johnny. So this is just all of the work that goes into one client. You start by mapping positions. You pull holdings, cost basis, and tax lots, usually across multiple statements or custodians. Then you'll model the gains out. So what's happening right now in the portfolio, gains and losses, to figure out realized and unrealized exposure to a specific security, and what you want to replace. What you might start thinking about what you might want to replace that with. And so you'll understand by doing that, by modeling the gains out, what it costs to realize that those positions for a client and what the tax impact is going to be. You'll then build the trades by hand, deciding what to sell, what to hold, what to replace those securities with, typically against a target allocation. And then you'll execute those trades. You'll stage the orders across accounts, maybe multiple custodians, and then you'll inform the client, walking them through the trade-offs, the timing, the tax impact. Um, and you'll talk to the client last, so you'll inform them, you'll walk them through everything that I just covered. And for one account, this can be hours. For a book of business, it can be days. And the kicker is most advisors are doing this in spreadsheets and custodian screens with no real way to kind of model two or three different scenarios out to see what would be the optimal fit for their client. So that's the problem. It takes a lot of time. Now I'm going to walk you through how we think about it. So with how Alpha Athena built our AI agent Athena, the goal really wasn't to replace advisor judgment, but more so compress the analytical work that went into it. So the modeling, the optimization, the scenario, or the comparison, and we want to take that and make it into something that takes minutes instead of days. So the advisor can spend their time on talking with a client about their needs and wants, and growing their book of business. So not just just beyond the spreadsheet there, value add activities, and so that's why we built Athena, to reduce the amount of time and effort needed to do one of these transitions. And so there are four places where Athena saves time here. The first is position mapping, which is automatic. Athena will pull in the holdings and cost basis from the custodian directly, or you can upload a CSV file, so that you're not reconciling statements, comparing all of the holdings and the weights and all of that. Tax aware optimization is another one. So we're running through the whole portfolio at once. We're modeling gains, losses, and tracking error simultaneously, not one position at a time. The third is scenario comparison. So this is where this gets interesting. You can stage a transition over multiple tax years or do it all at once now, depending on the client scenario, or you can do anything in between. So when you see the trade-off side by side, you can determine what you want to trade before you commit. And so it's a kind of a balancing act between tracking error and tax impact and where you want that optimal fit for the client to be. The output that we provide is trade ready, so you'll be able to see transition reports and present those white labeled reports to your clients. So they'll be reflective of your branding. They'll have your logo, your color scheme, disclosures, all of that. It'll look and feel like it's coming from you. You present that output to the client or prospect, and that's no typing stuff out, no manual uh, documentation of everything. Everything is just presented to you and the client, and you'll have those trades ready to submit as well. So if you're ready with a scenario after you do present that report to the client, you can just submit those trades directly to the custodian, kicking off the transition process. So just comparing the old ways versus the new wave Athena ways, Johnny. The old way is spreadsheets, manual lookups, hours spent per account. The Athena way is automatic mapping, tax aware optimization, multiple scenarios compared in seconds, and just minutes to do all of this analysis per account. So this is built for scale. You know, you the our theory at Alpha Athena is, we want to grow as our clients grow, and so as they grow their book of business, they need a tool like Athena that's going to do a lot of the work systematically in the background, automate some of the workflows, and present a solution that's viable for both the RA and the end client, the investor.
Very cool. Very cool. So we're going to switch over and actually go through this, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right.
I'm going to walk you through how it works in practice and share the platform.
Perfect. I'll let you take a minute to switch your screen, get over to your demo environment. While you do that, I know we titled this, I think, like build a tax optimized portfolio transition in 5 minutes. And last month, we created a custom index in 5 minutes. I
We
pulled out
did.
the stopwatch. I timed you. It was like under 4 minutes, I think. I'm not going to do that this time though. Like I'm going to just give you some space so you can talk us through it. and not feel the time crunch, but it is going to be fast, I think, right? Like we're still going to show off some blazing speed here.
Yes, it's a very seamless, smooth workflow that takes less than 5 minutes, similar to creating a direct index.
Can't wait, man. All right, so we're pulling up the transition. I see what we're doing, and I'm going to let you take it away and take us from start to finish here.
Okay, let's do it. So this is the transition screen. After you've already designed your investment strategy, you've created your direct indexes or model portfolios, you will be able to take an existing client account and map it out, kind of what we've been talking about throughout this whole webinar, map it to the target portfolio. So what I'm going to do is find a demo account, just a paper account that has been backdated, right? So it'll have unrealized gains and losses. It's going to look like it's been invested for years. In that portfolio, we have I'm going to back up a little bit. I just pulled in the paper account. If it's an existing client, you can just pull in that account because we have the custodial data feed set up. You can just bring in that account. It'll live on the platform along with the rest of your book. If it is a prospect, and you don't yet have their data, custody of their assets, their data isn't flowing through to our platform, you can just upload a CSV file, and the system will do all of the work. It just needs date of acquisition, cost basis, tickers, and units, and it will map out what's happening in the portfolio. I'm going to use a demo account. This is call it 500,000 and invested in equities, small cash position here. The unrealized gains and losses are modeled out here. So you'll see about 21,000 in unrealized losses, 146,000 in gains. So that's the portfolio as it stands today. That's the first step. The second step is selecting your target portfolio. So what are we trying to migrate to? I'm going to find just a direct index that we've created in the past and set that as the target. You will then hit continue. You can plug in specific tax rates if the client has a specific tax bracket they're in. You want to mark that here for transition analysis purposes. You can do that. You'll hit continue again, and the agent's going to take over. Athena is going to take over and model out. What it's doing here is it's modeling out a full transition. What's it going to take to get our existing portfolio to our target right now? Tracking error is going to decrease. You're going to see that come down to 0. What that means is this portfolio will, this is what it looks like to behave like exactly like your direct index. And I like to use, I'm a big analogy guy, Johnny. I like to use the teeter totter analogy here. It's like a teeter totter. The more you realize in gains, the higher the tax impact is going to be, but the lower the tracking error is going to be. As you start to reduce that capital gains budget a little bit, the tax impact is going to decrease along with it, but the tracking error is going to increase. And so what we're doing here is we're just bringing a full transition into play, where your tracking error is 0, but the tax impact is going to be about $10,000 to the client. That's what you're realizing right now. That's what you're going to owe 6 months from now at the end of the year, when you file in 2027. And so Athena is going to take it steps further. It showed you that baseline, the full transition. Now what it's doing is it presented you 4 scenarios, from conservative to moderate to aggressive, and then a tax sensitive scenario. So it's literally designing these possible transition plays for you and your client. And you'll see them here. I'm going to add them, kind of queue them up, if you will. And you'll see various capital gains budgets for each one of them, right? So conservative is going to be a capital gains budget of 10,000. Balanced or moderate is going to be 20. Aggressive is going to be 30. And then you'll have like a cash only tax sensitive scenario as well. So if I let those run, system's going to analyze the metrics behind them. So not only will it give us the losses and the gains, but it's going to give us the tax figure and the tracking error for each one of these individual scenarios.
While that runs, quick question for you, Josh. So Athena is, not just like a wrapper on ChatGPT or anything like that. Like the AI for Alpha Athena is really built upon your guys's existing optimization engine that you've been building for years now. And now you're kind of creating a new intelligence layer through the system with Athena. Is that the right way to describe it?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Johnny. It's probabilistic. It's using our optimization engine, but also these AI agents, which are a combination of OpenAI and Claude, to give you a unique set of analysis every single time you run this. And so different clients are going to have different outputs, and the system's just trying to give you a best case scenario for each one of these individual analyses, transition analyses that you run. So yeah, it's very unique. It is both using both the AI agents and the optimizer to give you to present you with this here that you see. And that's I think that's good. I'm glad that you brought that up, Johnny, because the roadmap of our platform, uh, it we're hoping that it incorporates a lot of agentic workflows.
Hmm.
We're big on the thesis of agentic augmentation, so not replacing actual bodies or humans, but workflows that were time consuming, that took a lot of time, can be augmented by these agents to do a lot of that work in a fraction of the time. And so for us, it's about how do we arm the advisors, the portfolio managers, the chief investment officers that we work with the best tool to do a lot of the workflows for them, and again, a lesser amount of time. And
Absolutely.
so, um, yeah, good question. It's, I think agentic AI is very exciting. We don't expect it to take over all of portfolio management, more so just some of the tedious workflows that these advisors worked with in the past. So here are your scenarios down here. So you'll see each one of them pillared out. If you need to ask Athena questions about what you're seeing here, you can do that and it will give you an answer, right? So, which scenario is the best trade off? Or I can just customize, why is the tracking error uh, 70 basis points with balance at the balanced scenario level? And it will return a response. Let me actually select. It would help if I selected the scenario, then asked the question.
There we go. So Athena is actually able to kind of go deep, fully explain the reasoning. So there's no like black box AI going on here.
No, yeah, it's going to give you a detailed response that's specific to both the scenario and the account. And here you'll see it here. So your tracking error is 70 basis points because you set the capital gains budget at 20,000 for the scenario. Here's what the transactions look like. It's spitting out a unique point in time probabilistic uh, response output. Athena can also create a scenario for you, right? So if you didn't like one of these scenarios you saw here, you can just remove it and have Athena make a scenario for you where capital gains might be $4,000. Okay, maybe we want to retain Apple. We don't want to sell off any Apple. You hit generate and it's going to create that scenario for you. Then you can rerun it, get the metrics. At which point you would go and have a conversation with the client. So you would download one of the transition reports here. You just click download report. It'll give you a white labeled version of all of this analysis that you can present to the client. Once you present it to the client, ultimately you'll come to terms on a scenario and move forward with that. And so you select the scenario that you and the client decide on, generate the trade orders by previewing the orders, and if you're ready, you can submit them directly to the custodian.
Okay, so that trade order, does this operate through Fix? So you guys have direct connections to the custodians. So you can run that kind of full end-to-end life cycle here and actually trade and allocate. And then uh I'm guessing also some ability to download those trades as well if there's a custodian who, only accepts like a CSV upload.
Yeah, all of the above. So we have the fixed connection set up with major custodians, Schwab, Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, Raymond James. We're working on a few others, but we're truly custodian agnostic. So we can connect to any third party platform or custodian that our RAs are using. But exactly that, Johnny, with the fixed connection, you can just submit the orders, they'll execute instantaneously with those custodians, or you can download a trade file. Um, we can get your trade file format loaded up into the platform so that when you download this and you're planning on uploading it to the custodian, it
Mhm.
responds with a custodian. So there's no data mismatching or any of that. It just goes seamlessly into the platform.
Awesome.
Um,
So the
yeah,
the exact formatting you need. I'm gonna tie this back to the very start of the webinar. So we ran that poll question. 100% of the people who responded said, "Hey, trade order management is actually the most painful thing with transitions." So it to me seems clear that having this baked in as part of the process with fixed connections really streamlines that whole, trading process component.
yeah, it's end to end. It streamlines it all. It is all centralized here, but think of it as like a tech overlay that sits on top of your custodian, but sits in between you, the RA, and the custodian as a tax efficiency portfolio management, portfolio customization tool with the trading functionality. So if I submit these trades, uh, they will go directly to the custodian, and you will be able to see them in our proprietary OMS. Right, so I can come here and search for historical trades. If I submitted them right now, you would see that they filled. You can expand it to see custodian, the status, custodian order ID, all of that good stuff. But yeah, at this point, you've done the transition. You can save the capital gains budget for that scenario to the account so that when you go to tax loss harvest and rebalance, it's going to remember that. And I guess that's a good segue, Johnny, into kind of what happens after the transition process is complete. Advisors will use the platform to rebalance tax loss harvest, manage some cash management for clients, cash preferences. That is all handled on the workflow tool. So this is kind of like your book of truth, your task manager, what needs to happen day to day. You log into the platform and you're wondering what needs to be done. Tax loss harvesting opportunities, rebalance opportunities. If you want to set cash withdrawals or distributions for certain clients, right? My client needs $10,000 on a monthly basis on the third day of every month. You can set that up so all of this flows systematically. It's kind of an alert system. Again, just making the workflow for the client or advisor much more efficient and seamless. Everything kind of right here instead of hopping back and forth on your custodian account by account.
Very cool. So just kind of a screen to show you what you need to get done and putting it right in front of you.
Yep. Yep. Also has the fixed connection. So all of the platform, whatever trading or portfolio management responsibilities you need to take care of, you just know the fixed connection is set up so that all of the trades flow seamlessly back to the custodian. And you can block trades too. So if you're trading throughout the day, rebalancing, tax loss harvesting, investing fresh cash, transitioning, you can select on the platform. There's a little box before you submit the trades. It says enable block trading. That just ensures that as you're doing trading throughout the day, those shares are being average price, so your clients don't get preferential treatment on the trades that are being placed. So everything is average priced, even.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Any other pieces here that you want to run through, Josh, or does that kind of take us to the end of the demo portion?
That just about wraps it up. Obviously, if anybody that sees this has questions, wants to hop on for a detailed demo, or wants to model out real life scenarios, I am happy to do that. But I know we have plans for other webinars here in the next few months, Johnny. So I'll
Yeah.
save some of the good stuff for those.
For sure. Sounds good, man. Okay, well let's wrap up with a few questions because we have had a couple entered in here. So first question, just about kind of using the portfolio transition Athena module with clients. The question is, can I show this to a client in a meeting? Is this something we can go through together, or is this something that I'd run beforehand and kind of bring the results to them with that report that you mentioned?
Yeah, so it's typically our tool is used by the RAs internally as like a back office client portfolio management tool.
Hmm.
I suppose if advisors want to show them, the fancy tech that they're using, they are welcome to do that. But the transitions process, which I just demoed, that output, the transition report is designed to be presentable, client facing material that the advisor can take to the investor, right? So it's going to have the logo, the color scheme, the branding, fonts, disclosures. It'll look and feel and behave like it's coming from the RAA. That's typically what's presented to the client. We have performance reports, fact sheets, educational materials that all can be
Hmm.
white labeled that you can present to the client. But typically, the advisors or the portfolio managers or analysts are the ones doing the work themselves on our platform and then presenting the output to the client.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Um, One more question. We're just about coming up close to the 30 minutes that we told everybody we'd spend today. But one more question for now, and then we'll preview the next webinar. So last one is the transition tool to only work with direct indexes, or is this usable with like any type of portfolio an advisor is managing?
It's usable for any type of portfolio that an advisor has in front of them. So we see transitions both to a direct index, but also to a model portfolio. That model portfolio might have ETFs in it, single securities. You might want to retain certain positions or kind of restrict them. It can be used in both of those. So some clients have a model portfolio, and for the U.S. large cap exposure, they want a direct index, right? Replicating the S&P 500 or Russell 1000. For the international exposure, they might have ETFs, right? Emerging markets or all country world or something of the like as ETFs. And then they might have fixed income exposure that they want to incorporate to or transition to. We can't trade individual bonds on the platform. We do have some options for fixed income. Either you purchase the fixed income ETF on our platform, you can do that with the transition, or you would have like an externally managed SMA, fixed income SMA that you're working with someone, an asset manager to hold in your clients' portfolios, or you can trade individual bonds just externally via the custodian. But the transition tool works with any type of portfolio. So hopefully
Okay.
that is your question.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Um, Anybody, if you've got additional questions, Josh's info is up here, so you can reach out to him direct with anything else you did not get answered today. But yeah, that puts us at time. Thank you everybody for joining. If you do want to see how this works for your specific client situations, when this is applicable, when you want to use it, reach out to Josh. Again, info's on the screen. And please mark those calendars for June 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So our next live session, Josh, you like hinted at this a little bit. It's going to be what's new at Alpha Athena. So it's going to be a Q2 recap covering just the biggest platform updates from this quarter. So we'll have a little bit, maybe more to cover. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff. I know you guys have been pushing out a lot of different things.
Yes, we have exciting times. And so looking forward to recapping all of the new enhancements and innovation we've been pushing.
Awesome. Good deal, man. I'm excited to see it too. So that does it for us, Josh. Thanks for doing this, and everybody, thanks for watching. See you at the next
Johnny,
one.
thanks for hosting. Appreciate it. Great as always. And thanks everybody for tuning in.